Jack and Love Mum, how's it going? Decided not to sit on my keys for 2 hours. Put them over there. How is it going? It is warm. It is very, very warm and muggy. I remember this game pretty fondly. Link should be in the description. Daramundi, oh man, long time no see. You're a brave man. Brave man to relive this one. It's a good game, if nothing else. I'm gonna skip ahead to, link is in the description. I'm gonna skip ahead to 14 minutes, which was when the haka gets going. Mr. Big V8 Show, how is it in Hong Kong? I see this video's got over 1,200,000 views, which is pretty good. I'm surprised World Rugby allows this one to stay online, but I am certainly not complaining. I'm going to crack open a beer because it's warm and the beer is cold. How you guys doing anyway? Anzac Brothers battling for rugby supremacy. This is the one. Yeah, absolutely. This was an all Anzac affair. But anyway, cheers, guys. That's cold, which is refreshing. 11J said, Jonathan, man, how are you doing? Lockdown, I would imagine, in the UK. Hope you're doing well though, man. Hope you are doing good. But like I said, links in the description. I'm skipping to 40 minutes. Not 40, 14. It's like a overhead shot of the All Blacks haka formation. And they're just about to get it cracking. Patrick, goodness me. What time is it in Pennsylvania, bro? I hate to think. But yeah, 14 minutes. I think I might just get cracking now, eh? Kind of want to get into the game. We can catch people up as we go along. So yeah, links in the description. 14 minutes is where I'm skipping to. It is going to be the haka. Big Will, good timing, man. We're just about to get started. 14 minutes is where I'm skipping to. And yeah, let's get going. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hopefully I've got some sound. Maybe it's just a quiet moment. No, I'm on mute. Probably because I've got my microphone. This is a great one to watch. One of my all-time favorite World Cups. Have to agree. Probably going to blow you guys. Be prepared for some loud sound here. Oh, no, not too bad. Great game to watch, my favorite World Cups. Yeah, this World Cup was a top one. This 2015 World Cup team from the All Blacks was pretty good. Good morning, Fletcher, mate. I'm already into my beers. Daramundi says, I remember watching this with some stupid time live while this World Cup was on. I was studying for my year 12 final exams. Goodness me. That says something about your age, mate. 2015. I was well married by that point. First stream of the new year. That's true. What a good one to kick the year off, eh? It's only going to be a better year. Flesh and yeah, man, it's warm. I know Auckland doesn't get that warm in the scheme of things, but it's muggy. So cold beer, which is apparently Scottish. It should be cold, right? If it's Scottish beer. Kutenda says, 82 cents streaming from Zimbabwe. How are you, man? Is it warm over there as well? Aussie lineup, Seo, Moore, Kepu, Douglas, Simmons, Vardy, Hooper, Pocock. The Pooper plus Vardy, Guinea, Foley, Gito, Kurandrani, Ashley Cooper. Conrad Smith and Nonu, quite the midfield. Dan Carter, quite the number 10. Richie McCaw, quite the number 7. That was a hell of a team, man. Julian Savia back when he was at his blockbusting best. Nihi Milner-Skudder in that brief window where he was fit and, very effective. Cleaned out my fridge, it's empty, my oven, and managed to cut your fingers. Geez, that's no good. But you've only got one home until Monday. That's not a bad thing. I'm still getting ready for my son to start school, which will be nice. It's hot here, says Contender, I bet. Newton, how is it going, man? Apparently Australia might be holding some form of mini World Cup in July, possibly. I did not hear that. I'll have to keep an eye out, though. Was it good to be a Kiwi living in Australia after this game? Clicked on a few bets. I'll bet, man. I remember I was texting furiously a Aussie mate of mine, that Tars fan who was overseas at the time. Was he in Australia at the time or was he in China? I can't remember, but yeah, we started off texting furiously or like messaging each other, and then he kind of went quiet as the All Blacks went ahead, and then when the All Blacks come back into it, he gets a bit louder again, but eventually, yeah. Oh, this is a good final, man. Honestly, it's a bloody good All Blacks team. You got Nigel Owens reffing it. It's at Twickenham. It's got lots going for it. These were the best times. I know, man, Newton. We've just kicked off. If you are watching along, the YouTube clock is at 17:48 as I speak. Good evening, Marius. How are you, man? Whereabouts are you at, Marius, actually? Rugby opinion. I am well, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually on holiday next week, unbelievably. I'm on holiday. I've been told I need to take my annual leave, so I'm taking a week off. Watched this with Kiwi Mick in a pub in Oxford. He made his English wife wear the white New Zealand shirt for this game. That's a nice mix, right? She's used to wearing white, but she gets to wear a New Zealand shirt for the occasion. I've never watched this game with the English commentary, so that will be interesting. Apparently the All Blacks are like velociraptors coming out of the line. That's a new one. I've not heard that one before. And Adam, I read that, but I'm not gonna read that one out. Well done though. Ribsy, man, how's it going, bro? Man, even you Aussie guys are getting into this one. Well done. There goes Ma'a. I'm a minute and 50 seconds into the game. Big Will, I am drinking Charger Scottish Lager, 7.5%. It was $1.99, man. What can I say? $1.99. Yeah, Ribsy, man. It's been too long. Haven't had the regular live streams going. I haven't been game enough to do them in the morning. I used to do some of the European games in the morning, but yeah, struggle to get out of bed these days. 7.5%. Damn, I know. For $1.99, I can't complain. Apparently, it's imported from Scotland. It must be made for export because it's got Chinese all over the can. I'll take it. He says, man, I want a 7.5% beer. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The game clock is at 2:55 on my one, and YouTube's at 20:30. I skipped the anthems and just went straight into the haka. Moody, Coles, and Franks. In that All Black front row. Big Will says he misses cheap beer. Yeah, this was on special. Me and the missus were at the supermarket and I was like, I need to get some beer. She saw this one and was like, "You're getting that one." Can't complain. Jonathan says, "I'm not watching the game right now, just here for the company, but must have seen this game so many times it always seems to come back." Yeah. I think I've only seen this one with New Zealand commentary, with Justin Marshall and the Go Bodie bit. Nah, not Tennant's flesh, and I'm sure that costs a bit more than $1.99 over here. Can't wait till Super Rugby is back, Nov Mum. It's not too far away. The Aussies are getting underway a week earlier, but it should be very good. Michael, my local serves 8% strong Belgian beer by the pint. Goodness me. That sounds like trouble. Drew Mitchell. Man, the Aussies have been camped in their own half, haven't they? New Zealand v Australia, good rivalry, says Rugby Opinion. You're not wrong, man. It'd be nice for it to be a bit closer. It's been a bit lopsided in recent years. Aussies could use with a good Bledisloe run, eh? Chiefs have a bye in the first week. You won't mind, Nov Mum. I'm sure you'll watch the other games as well, eh? I don't think we even sell beer here in Australia over 5%. Could be wrong. I don't know. This one's like literally a supermarket beer, not even a liquor store. Oh man, Nonu was in good form, wasn't he? Jeez. Spinning out of tackles. Oh, what a take from Nihi. Going to be a hard one to watch. Yeah, it goes wrong, and then it goes right, and then it goes more wrong for the Aussies in this one, doesn't it? Always a lot of fun recommending friends to drink it and wonder why they're slightly pissed when they're almost finished it. I have that problem with the Vailima. Like that Samoan beer. It's like a big bottle, and it's a pretty strong beer, like 6 something. Like one bottle. I'm a real lightweight nowadays. One bottle seems to do my head in. As a neutral that doesn't like Australia, the ABs always seemed in control of this. Yeah, apart from Ben Smith's yellow card period, I think they do. No, they don't need a good Bledisloe Cup run. Was Hooper captain yet, or was it still more? I think it's more. We sell beer here at whatever percent you want. I have some absurd thing that was like 13% from a brewery, and it was absolutely terrible. 13%. DC is lining up the first shot at goal. My clock's about to hit 7 minutes. It's 6:55, 57, 58, 59. There's 7 minutes now on the game clock. I never knew why Australia chose Moore as their captain. Nothing wrong with Vailima, is right, man. I love the Vailima. I just can't drink a lot of it. Like, at least when I go to the pub, I can have a few beers. It seems like when I have the Vailima, it's like, that's it. I'm done. Yeah, Moore as the captain. He was experienced. I guess he was like the first choice for his position most of the time he was playing, eh? 3-0 to the All Blacks. Decent reward for all that pressure. Big Will's not watching the game, they're just here for a chat. Fair call. It's just past 8 minutes if you decide to turn it on. Vailima's a decent beer, it sure is. Stephen Moore's just having to change his shirt, which I didn't remember. Like bent spoke or black hops, just go to Dan's and look at the cans. It's not cheap, but you can get 6% or more, no worries. There's another one here called Elephant Beer, which is pretty strong. That's in most of the supermarkets, I think. At least like the Countdown Woolworths ones. April. Oh, I only set this up on like Friday. I think Friday. How's it going, April? Did a massive clean out of the fridge, says Nov Mum. Yeah, Nov Mum's been cleaning. Oh man, the All Blacks are just all over the Aussies at the minute. It's interesting to see Folau still playing, and how good he was in the air. That the Red signing. What's his name? He's a Fijian guy who used to play for the Melbourne Storm. He looks bloody good in the air as well, kind of reminiscent of Israel Folau. At least from what limited highlights I've seen of him playing league. So misty in the moorlands, says April Tui. Is that right? Man, it's bloody warm over here. I can't even imagine. Like warm for Auckland. Like it's not hot, but it's just muggy and uncomfortable. Hence the cold beer. Husband did the cords on the computer and tidied up the desk. Good man. He's getting into the cleaning. Aussie cricket, rugby, tennis, hockey world champions. Rugby? Maybe rugby league. Wife bought some ciders the other day at 7.4%. She didn't even realise until she had to. I'll bet that was a laugh. Vunivalu, thank you, General Hux and Big Will and Ribsy. Yeah, man, I've seen some of his highlights. Bloody hell, half of his highlights are cross kicks where he just takes it above his head, eh? That could be an interesting one to watch. April 2 has been binge watching Obsessive Cleaners, so the house is getting clean. Yeah, I did a big clean out as well, actually, over the break. Did a big clean out of the house. It's good. Alex Fisher says, thoughts on Australia wanting to host the Mini World Cup? Honestly, I've never heard of it. Ribsy, or was it somebody else mentioned it earlier? Is it news in Australia? Because I haven't heard a thing about it here as yet. Kane Williamson. Yeah, I don't watch much cricket these days, but I know he is pretty good. Old Kane Williamson. Vunivalu is a weapon. He's going to be good for the Reds. Yeah, man, I hope so. That contract was arranged like this time last year. That was a big signing for a year out. So it's, I guess, finally coming to fruition, which is good. It's on Twitter about this mini World Cup in Oz. Is it really on, like, which... Like, where is it coming from? Is it coming from some official sources? Is this, like, speculation from a newspaper? Let me have a look. Rugby. Australia. First scrum penalty goes the way of the Aussies. We spoke about it a year ago on Patreon. Weird it was organised so far in advance. Yeah, I remember thinking that it must have been for that coming season, the 2020 season. Amazing that it was so early, eh? Yeah, it just doesn't seem to happen that way. Qantas is not a sponsor from 2021. That's true. The All Blacks are losing AIG as well, actually. Right, I see Rugby Pass is reporting it. Rugby Pass is a bit hit and miss with some of their news stories. Just let me put it that way. If anyone else wants to come out, great. Rugby Australia's new idea to host mini Rugby World Cup. Cash strapped Rugby Australia is the opening line. Probably related to his league contract. Wouldn't be surprising. Interesting that he wanted to come back to Union, though. I'm sure he could have stayed in league if he'd wanted to. Lord of the Kings, we are up to 13.50 on the game clock, so it's 3 points apiece. On the YouTube clock, that's 32.20. Rugby Australia Chairman Hamish McLennan plans to ask other nations to join the proposed tournament to run in parallel with the Rugby Championship. Good luck finding a free spot on the calendar, but if it's on, I will watch it. Watching this shows you how much better this team was than the ABs in 2019. I would agree, April Tui, man. Like, you got Dan Carter, although he's getting on in this game, he still proves he had it. You got Richie, Ben Smith maybe at his peak, and Conrad, best All Blacks midfield combo, at least in my lifetime, probably. Retallick and Whitelock. Like, yeah. Savia, when he was at his kind of peak of his powers. Yeah, there was a lot to like about this team. Do you watch the documentary Rugby 7 Women of Australia Rare Gold? No, I haven't seen it, bro. Is it on YouTube? All the unions are cash strapped, so mentioning that is a bit redundant at the moment. Yeah, I know the Scottish rugby union's struggling. That's why they seem to have lost a few high-profile players recently. What do you think of the Lions tour? Looking like it will be cancelled, but do you think it should go to the UK or instead it'll be postponed? I hate the idea that South African fans lose a chance for a Lions tour because it's honestly once every 12 years, man. That's not that many times in your lifetime. I really hate the idea that they lose it. But I can also equally see like Wayne Pivac and Eddie Jones next year not wanting to lose their players to a Lions tour when they're trying to kind of, build for a World Cup, you know what I mean? So, yeah. On Rugby Pass YouTube channel. Thank you, bro. I'll have a look. What about the Women's World Cup? April 2, interestingly, I saw there's a few jobs going over here in New Zealand for the Women's World Cup. Yeah, they're all fixed term jobs, obviously, because the World Cup's not a permanent event, but I don't think I'm qualified for any of them, unfortunately. But that'd be such a cool job to get. Mini World Cup won't happen here in Oz, not with the respective Super Comps and the Trans-Tasman Comp, then the Blizzards. It seems tough to fit everything in. There's already not enough room as it is. What's my original name, bro? I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce your name. Crush... Yikish? Is the H silent? Is it just Rushikesh? Or does it say with a ch? Mine's Mark. Mine's a one-syllable name. So hopefully a relatively straightforward one. Something has to give, and it's got to be the Lions. You can't play it here. Yeah, even if the UK is suggested, it's in lockdown at the moment, eh? So it's no better off than South Africa, one would think. 2015 AB squad was stacked, says Jay. Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. McCaw, peak of his powers, Savia, Ben Smith, Ma'anonu, Conrad Smith, Aaron Smith. Like, man. Jerome Kino, good team. Is that Alan Quinlan on the commentary? I'm not sure. What's the point of a mini World Cup? Make some money. Man, Nigel Owens just giving them a right telling off. Good stuff. Not even the lockdown, it just wouldn't be right. UK will be vaccinated first, though. All phase by 15th. Over 50s by spring. Maybe we won't vaccinate anyone else, but I think it will be possible to play it here. I never drink too much on the live streams, bro. Don't worry. As much as I hate this game, it's beautiful to see a massive stadium full of punters. It's almost otherworldly now, isn't it, eh? Like, it was weird the other day, Glasgow and Edinburgh was cancelled, and your brain just goes, COVID. But it was like a frozen pitch. How nice was it to see a game cancelled for something other than bloody COVID cases, eh? Don't see the Lions tour happening, but it can't be postponed to 2021 as the international schedule is full. Hopefully they play in South Africa. Yeah, I don't know how they can do it, eh? If they could vaccinate all the players, that'd be nice, and the coaching staff, but if that's taking vaccines away from, like, you know, high risk people, then that's probably not right. Reed's foot is so bound up, can't believe he played most of the game with his foot like that. Yeah, reminiscent of Richie in 2011, eh? Just had to play on. Could see it happening if the Lions tour is cancelled. You mean the mini World Cup? As it stands, if UK and Irish teams turn up, the French won't for a mini World Cup. Yeah, the French are playing hardball, and I can understand it. Go near here. Tackled. Such a shame that guy had so many bloody injuries, eh? Dan Carter looks pretty sore. I'm sure my heart was in my mouth at that moment, but at least it was Bodie on the bench. Aussie rugby needs to focus on domestic comp and trying to win back the Bledisloe and the women being competitive at the Women's World Cup. True. David, mate, how's it going? Morning. Sorry, early start here in the UK, just out doing my shopping. Hope you got your mask on and wash your hands when you get home, brother. Got to give a slack to the unions, though. COVID is draining their coffers fast. Yeah. It's not ideal, is it? Just a penalty, surely. Kepa's just smashed into Carter, which is what I'm looking at if you guys aren't watching the game. What happened to Milner Skudder? Yeah, he's with the Highlanders at the moment, but he couldn't even get through a single game with the Highlanders last year because his fitness is just still not there. He's not 100%. He's still got, I think, his knee problems. England, Ferns, and France for the top women's teams. That sounds about right. Aussie Rugby needs to get people in schools to try... And that comment's just travelling too hard for me to see. Kids want to play rugby. We can't get all our players from like 10 schools, 10 private schools on the East Coast. This is also true. Rugby union is like cricket. A few competitive nations that are only competing and other nations didn't match their level. These sports bodies should grow the game worldwide. They definitely could use more countries to make it competitive. April Tui, the game clock is at almost 21 minutes. It's just hitting 21 minutes now. The YouTube clock's at 42:45. Australia's running it out their own 22. Americ says, do you reckon the Southern Hemisphere should have a team of the British and Irish Lions, like the British and Irish Lions, comprising of Australia, South Africa, Argentina, New Zealand? A lot of people have asked me that, hey, and I don't think it'll happen, but it would be awesome. How good would it be, eh? But I think the closest we'll get is a Barbarians team, eh? The Barbarians teams often are kind of similar like that, but not necessarily the best of the best. The best of who's available kind of thing. Ruben, mate, how is it going over in South Africa, mate? Too far apart to create a Southern Hemisphere team. Yeah, I think logistically, April Tui, it's probably quite challenging. Barbar's team's doable. Schoolboy rugby here in Brisbane is very traditional, and the same schools pump out the future Wallabies. It needs to be played more at public schools, but the funding isn't there. It's probably the opposite problem over here. Like, every school pretty much has a rugby union team, but not every school has a league team. That being said, I know that the number of teams each school is fielding over time is getting less and less. Like, it might be that they used to have a first 15, second 15, and like the kind of social 15. Now some schools are struggling to find a second 15. What was Australia's record like coming into this World Cup? Michael Checker had taken over the Wallabies pretty late in the piece from Ewan McKenzie. I think they won the abridged rugby championship this year in 2015. So they were doing all right. The Hooper and Pocock combo, the Pooper, was something to be kind of feared, even though it's obviously got its drawbacks. Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere game would be good to watch. Look at the hype around the North versus South Islands game here in New Zealand, man. It would only be greater for Northern versus Southern Hemisphere. But where do you find a room for it in the calendar, eh? COVID's going crazy. Beer supplies are nearing an end. It's just the usuals as it has been for the past year. Ruben, New Zealand is not too bad, man. I have a steady supply of beer. There's no rugby on for another 40-something days domestically, which is unfortunate. But it's summer, so it's cricket season. there's great fears that variants of COVID are going to run riot here in New Zealand, but so far we've managed to keep them at the border. Oh man, they're putting some hard hits on bloody Carter, eh? Seems like Australia is like Germany, they always show up for a World Cup. There's a few teams like that, eh? Argentina is kind of like that as well. Except for the last World Cup when they didn't make it out the pool. The Bulls are doing fine, Ruben. That's true. That's a bit of good news. Don't stress about the variants. Every virus does that, and the vaccines still work on them. Yeah, I have read that they It's just the media over here is going gangbusters about basically panic campaign about how long until it gets out in the community over here. They targeted Carter here for sure. A couple of hits were a bit much. Yeah. I guess that's to be expected. He would be used to it. South African variant is pretty crazy. I even got it. Never had any symptoms, but had the antibodies test. Jeez, you're lucky, man. I'm glad you never knew you had it. Hopefully that means you'll stay fit and well. Yeah, nice food takeaways. The media is just basically, I guess they just do it for the, I want to swear, for the headlines and the clicks, right? I guess they just do it for the clicks, but they try and just scaremonger the shit out of you, and it's quite frustrating. South African variants up to 70% more contagious. Yeah, so more people are getting it, even if it doesn't make you any sicker. But still, not good, is it? Media everywhere is so irresponsible. Can't even die in the media at all. Total scaremongering. And Ribsy, you guessed what I was about to say before I stopped myself. Yes, for the clicks. It is irresponsible, man. The media never used to be like that. So sensationalist, eh? Like, my brother actually used to be a journalist, but he couldn't take it after like 10 years of it. He didn't mind local stories for like the free newspaper, but when he tried working for like the big national one, he was like, no, this is just garbage. It's not what I wanted to become a journalist for. Some parts of England are over 89%, over 80s are vaccinated, over 3 million. We will get 15 million done by February. It's great news. Yeah, just keep rolling those damn vaccines out, eh? In New Zealand, we're not looking at vaccines until March, and that'll be frontline, like the managed isolation, the hotel staff and nurses and stuff. They'll get it first, because they're the most at risk at the moment. Everyone else will be like June, I think. June, July. 2015 final, also known as AB's fans catnip. That's very much true, Cabbage Patch. If you're watching, the game clock's at 28:44. YouTube's clock at 50:50. One good thing Trump did was about fake news. Yeah, it is a bit. It's a bit sad that that's a thing. What can we say? There's a bug crawling over the camera. I try not to make like my stuff real clickbaity, like the titles of the videos. I did it once quite deliberately, like if I title this video like this, it will garner more interest. But it was interesting that a lot of people called me on it. They were like, "Nah, this title was inappropriate," which was interesting. So I don't do that. You're watching the A-League right now. Yeah, it's funny how many people are actually not actually even watching the game, just here for a chat. I sent a big submission to New Zealand Rugby the other week regarding their transgender policy review. Liam added a powerful paragraph to keep women's rugby close to males. Anyone else want to send them an email? They accept submissions from fans. Did they actually reply to you though? How many foreign players in a team isn't clickbait, but it feels like clickbait? I never thought that one's clickbait, because that's like an issue in rugby. But once I was perusing Reddit, somebody gave me a lot of shit for doing a video on that topic. Yeah. I'm not sure how much of an issue that is in other sports, but it's definitely a point of discussion in rugby anyway. Nothing wrong with clickbait as long as it's what? As long as it's not a straight up lie. Yeah, fair enough. Local paper is shocking. It's been end of days for nearly a year now. Bold prediction: at some point this match, Justin Marsh will abandon his neutrality and scream "Go Bowden." This one we've got the English commentary on, so we won't be hearing Justin. They do. You had an email back and forth with Richard. They asked to send a formal submission. What was Richard's role? Like, what was his job title? What was up with the video the other day where you expected a change in work? Yeah, I'm going to leave my job at some point in the next few months. The university I work for got, because they rely on a lot of international students coming in, and kind of COVID means there's no international sweet money, especially from China, coming into the university. So they've got like a big shortfall, and they offered staff a chance to volunteer to go redundant. So I opted to take that because if you volunteered for it, they would give you like an extra few weeks pay. So it was kind of like a guaranteed bit of extra income rather than risk getting laid off. But also I've been looking to change my job for a while, so it kind of works out okay. I just need to find something else to do, basically. I need to find a new job. Whenever you come on Reddit, we discuss something. Whenever you come up on Reddit, we discuss something that's all wheelie bins on a driveway. Are we likely to see a video up in a tick when you leave a university job looking for a new job? Maybe. In one of the monthly update videos, I'll mention it a bit closer to the time, I guess. Yeah, probably. Hopefully I can find something, eh? I reckon I will. I back myself to find a job. I don't know what I'm going to do. Richard is the head of something like well-being and diversity or something random like that. But spoke to the head of communications 2 hours once. That's good, like, feedback from them. 2 cents rugby. I'm going to leave my job. The terribly rude part of my brain. 0 cents rugby. Okay, that's gold. Yeah, that could be me very shortly. That could be me. On the dole rugby. I can't even get the dole. I double checked because I was looking through the job ads yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. And then I was like, all right, I'll see if I can apply for the dole, just in case. I've never applied for the dole ever. I've never had the dole. Never needed to apply for the dole. I've always had a job. And I can't because my missus earns. I mean, she doesn't earn heaps. She earns less than I do now. But apparently that still qualifies as too much. So, there you go. I agree, Johnny and Patrick. That was pretty funny. I might have to steal that line, man. 0 cents rugby. 35.5 minutes. Dan Carter is lining up a pretty tricky shot at goal. Does he get this one? Surely he gets it. What a nudge. When are we lucky to get Gaza on a stream or a video anytime soon? Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get him to do a video. He's been talking about doing like some Lions squad video from like players from the last 50 years. I asked him just to do a Lions squad. I said, when he said that, I said, why don't you just do like a Lions squad like that you would pick at the moment? But he doesn't seem keen to pick like current squads. He likes to keep to the historical stuff, which is fair enough. When my husband applied for the dole, it was going to be enough to pay our mortgage and a few bills, and that's about it. Thankfully, he managed to get a job. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty confident I'll find a job. I just don't know what I'm going to do. And yeah, nice food takeaways. Gaza is old school. Apparently, April Tui is better at getting replies from New Zealand rugby than Big Will. Exact reason she told me why she doesn't want to be too vocal. I can actually hear All Blacks fans chanting All Blacks at the moment. Unusual. Create a new tier on Patreon called Mark's Redundancy Support Tier. That's a good idea. Create a new tier at like, I don't know, $12 instead of $6. That's a good idea, Big V8 Show. When I do that, I'll give you the credit. $2 OnlyFans. Yeah, nah. Oh, man. This could be an excuse to go full-time on YouTube, but it just won't pay the bills, man. That'd be nice. Here we go. Nihi in the corner. Speaking of OnlyFans, though, it was funny at my day job the other day because our office takes like IT requests, and I was trying to help out my team by having a look through some of the requests, and one of them was like, I can't access OnlyFans, and it was a legit request, like their website was blocked or something, so someone logged a service request for that. And McCall with the try assist. 14-3, man. The All Blacks are looking very comfortable at the minute. $2 only fans, yeah, nah. Please just don't stop these videos and chats end up on Sky like them 14. I don't think I would ever do that, eh? Yeah, I can't imagine doing anything for someone like Sky. I don't know why those guys just disappeared. That was pretty frustrating. Fletcher, mate, the job is not... Oh, well, we're kind of on the line, but I volunteered to leave it in April, end of March. So, yeah, I'm going to leave the job. They'll pay me out, which is fine. So I'll have like a buffer to get through any transitional period. And my son's going to be starting school. So he will go from costing me a lot of money for childcare to being free. So, yeah, I can hopefully find a job which is not, I don't know, stressful. 10-14 sellouts. Yeah, man, you got to keep the YouTube presence, bro. Halftime 16-3. Need him a favourite player of all time in the corner as easy as you like. Yeah, man. Just imagine a video being titled "The Long Dong with 2 cents." Oh, goodness me. I was annoyed. They got people to write free articles, etc., build the whole thing, and they just left. I only wrote one, but some guys wrote regularly, unpaid, hoping it would build up. Yeah, I remember they used to have a website, and it used to have all kinds of articles. There was one guy, a Japanese guy, who sometimes appears in the live streams here. He wrote a lot of content for them. But yeah, they said their goal was always to go mainstream. And they did. So I guess kind of mission accomplished. The parent's secret, school is free daycare. Yeah, man. So essentially, my plan is, even if I get a job, which is like an entry-level job, my son is going to school, so it's almost like a pay rise. And my daughter, when she turns 3 in May, she gets subsidized by the government. So here in New Zealand, if you're 0 to 2, you pay full rates for daycare. But if you get to 3 years old, they do 20 hours free. So she'll also be coming cheaper soon as well. So I can take a entry-level job and just hopefully kind of chill. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is just the beer talking. 7.5 bloody %. Did it 3 years ago. It's a massive relief when you walk out the door. Yeah, man, like, honestly, Flesh, and like, I sometimes sit up at night and instead of thinking about Nihi Milner-Skudder going over in the corner, as I should be, I'm thinking about, bloody hell, I got this meeting tomorrow, I don't want to go to it, or I got this report to run. You know, I don't want to be thinking about that crap when I'm in bed. I'd rather be, you know, thinking about my frickin' kids doing something cool, or just anything, or just going straight to bloody sleep. Yeah, Big V8 show is in Hong Kong, so he can easily find the long dong. That's true. Second half is at 11:11. Okay, thank you, bro. I'm going to skip to that now. 11:11. Here we go. I've just skipped to 11:11. Did they? Because they non-stop trashed mainstream sports media to me, non-stop. I think their thing was they wanted to go mainstream so they could make mainstream media good. They said the current rugby shows we're talking about 10-14. Current rugby shows are not like smart enough for the educated rugby fan, so they wanted to make a show which was like a better level than what was currently on offer. As long as you can afford a chill out time, it's all good. Yeah, man, if they're going to pay me out, I shouldn't be in such a rush to find a new job anyway, so I figure I'm not going to be out on the street anytime soon. My teenager sounds like she costs more than my kids. Yeah, my kids are not too demanding. Go the 90. Jeez. Kind of dreading how much it's going to cost for my daughter at college. At college? Is she going to a private school now, Mum? Follow your instinct regarding work to sense. Best thing I did work for myself. Yeah, man. I reckon I'm doing the right thing. I'll find out in due course, right? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But it was an opportunity, so put my hand up for it. I reckon I'll be happier for it. Oh, this try. I never thought he was going to make that one. It looked impossible. Have you ever been approached by companies like Squarespace or Skillshare? No, I haven't. Even though I've seen their ads bloody everywhere. Can you imagine 2 cents on Sky Sports commentating and they're going to clear for this? Barrett kicks long. Force of habit. Man, that Nonu try is a piece of magic, that one. No public school, but subject fees. Oh, goodness me. We had our own business for 20 years. Liam was working for someone now for a few years, but we are really better off in London and Wellington running our own business. Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing about having a YouTube channel is it does bring in some money, which means also it gives me a little bit of extra bit of like freedom. Not enough to live on, but at least, I don't know, a bit of an extra buffer. It's not like I'm going to be making nothing, even if I'm not working. Our daughter went to private school here. Bursary system is still extensive. Thank God it's over. Snooty school. Hated it. Yeah, my kids are going to go to public school. What can I say? My kids both went to uni, and now my son is working on the COVID thing for Oxford University and is now having to pay his loan back. Oh, goodness me. Thoughts on the Fijian player lifting up the ref, Johnny? I didn't know this. He's missed that conversion. But that Fijian guy is actually a bit of an a-hole. I'm sure you guys have seen the clip, right? The guy lifts up the ref to celebrate winning the game. But he's been up for, was it like once was like indecent assault as well? And something else. Like some other kind of real dirty play. He seems like just a bit of a loser. A bit of a bad guy. Unlikable chap. 100% my partner has taken over the financial side of the business for the last 2 months and she's a goddess. Made your life so much better. That's good. As a product of a private school, there is a realistic risk if your kids will be too insulated for what life is like for average kids. Yeah. I reckon that's probably true as well. Russell says, yes he is. I guess you're talking about that Fijian fella. Man, 21-3, Australia look dead and buried, don't they? There's no chance. 350 metres to 131. You managed Liam's finances. He just did his thing. He's a software architect. He was fired by Stade Francais for a sexual assault. Goodness me. Nobman predicts a drop goal. If he kicks one, he's probably going to yell at the ball to get up, get up, get up. Goodness me, it took me a long time to drink that. How big is this thing? It's from Glasgow. No wonder it's hitting me like a ton of bricks. 500 mils. If I drink my second one, I've had a litre of 7.5% beer. Things could get messy. Oh well, what are you going to do? It's hot. Big Will only went to school to eat his lunch. And play rugby. Oh, that's pretty good. Having used public and private schools, I can honestly say I would not recommend private. You get way more resources, etc., but it's the culture. Ours was the top one in the UK, so maybe that's why it's horrid. Well, I can speak from my experience. When I was a high school student, I went to my local high school, which was Onehunga High School. It's like a 3 out of 10 high school on the decile systems. But I used to work at a car wash on the weekend. I used to clean cars every Sunday, vacuum them and, wash the outsides, clean the tires and, the windows and stuff. And that was in Epsom. So that's a fancy neighborhood here in Auckland. So all of the boys I used to work with, because it was all teenagers on a Sunday, and they were all going to Auckland Boys Grammar, which is like it's a public school, but it's like a top school in the country. And man, those guys were all, I don't know, just like doing drugs and stuff by the time when I was still fully like Mr. Innocent, 16 years old, I might have a beer every now and again, go to parties with my mates, but I wasn't freaking doing speed or anything like those guys were. Those guys were nuts in comparison, and they went to the fancy school, so don't know. Those kids had too much money. Rene Ranger going to the Crusaders is heartbreaking, mate. That's going to be awful to see him in a Crusaders uniform. At this point, my mate was happy it didn't take long for him to swear and go out for a smoke. Oh man, I bet. Nigel Owens would have Superman punched the guy if he got lifted like that. Yeah, Nigel Owens is probably a bit heavier than that guy who got lifted as well. Yep, that's private schools for you. I went to Adelaide College and then Mags, eh? My daughter's school is nerdy. Girls all love the teachers, but the school itself is bad. They furloughed staff, but we still paid almost full fees, and some staff aren't on London living wage. Just finished at a private school in Auckland, and the amount of drugs around is crazy. I could bet, Andrew. If that was happening in my day, it'll only be worse now. Oh. I went to a uni on a sponsorship from a company. When I got there, I was treated very differently from the rest, but that's a long time ago. Yeah. At least I didn't notice that kind of crap at university. Only really at school. Sad to see Rennie at the Satyrs. Surely we got a younger wing talent. I would have thought so, but I don't know. Whoa, what happened there? Score is 21-3. It's 50 minutes in on the game clock. Working from home as we speak Saturday evening. Working from home is nice. Sometimes I prefer to go into the office actually. I went to a fancy international school and the teaching staff were mainly Brits, Aussies and Canadians, and they said, comparatively speaking, the kids here are better behaved. Daramundi went to a private school in regional Victoria, and for the most part it was a good one, but the better ones outside of Melbourne definitely an expertise in itself. Man, so many of you guys are private school kids, eh? Never knew that. Doesn't really matter as long as you're a good person. Who cares? But what's the issue with students doing drugs and shoplifting? Shoplifting? Bloody hell. Grew up in Mangere, you won't believe it. I actually miss it. The best bakery in the world, the Windmill Bakery at Wickham Way. Their pizza sticks were heavenly. Went to a decent school to have a very top class in rugby, like 5th in the country at the time. But yeah, a lot of guys are simply put tools. I don't know why the Highlanders didn't re-sign Josh Mackay. Yeah, the Crusaders snapped them up, mate. Nuke, yeah, the game is, it's free on YouTube. It's, yeah, I'm just watching on YouTube. Okay, you guys on the computer? I got the game on the TV. Went to a normal school, boarding, then left to live with my boyfriend and get a job in a shop. Nobody was happy, but it's okay. I married him and we did okay. Don't think Nuke gets how it worked. Nuke wouldn't be the first. Here comes a yellow card for Ben Smith. Yep, he's in trouble. He tried to let him down, but nah, he's in trouble. This moment made me nervous, says Apatui. It made me nervous as well. Liam, the game clock is at 51:42. Ben Smith's just been yellow carded. The YouTube clock is at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 52 seconds. Yeah, Ben looked apologetic, April. He did not mean to do that, but he did it. So, you're most welcome, Nuke. The guys are pretty helpful. Like I said, you're not the first to ask that question, by any means. Here comes the try to David Pocock. That did not take long. Private school is just one big psychological experiment to see what happens when kids have the support system not to deal with many ramifications if they screw up in life. That's pretty heavy. Well, that definitely gets Australia back into the game, this one. Worst thing about private schools is the expectations. It's intense. Our school, 98% get A and A stars. Imagine getting a B, you'd be the only one. Yeah, like I mentioned, like the guys who I worked with at that car wash, like it was still a public school, but it's like an elite public school, very competitive public school. The school I went to, they don't really give a stuff. If you're the students who like to study, they put you in a class with other students who also want to get good grades. at that school, all the classes were ranked. Class A is the best kids. Class B is the, second best kids. They used to call Class D for dumbass. And there's like way more than D. It goes to like F or G or something like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of glad I didn't have that pressure on me when I was a student. Never really panicked at this stage. When he was yellow card, I started to panic when Kurandrani scored. I was like, I'm calling in sick for a week if we lose. Yeah, when Kurandrani scored, that was a moment. But also April 2 is right. When Dan gets the drop goal, that's when you kind of settle back down. Ben Smith was such a good player, gave everything to the black jersey and to the Highlanders, eh? Like, for a long time, I think he was the only guy, like, actually from Dunedin at the Highlanders, so... I think the zone for Auckland Grammar is like $1 million, $2 million. Only Hunga is $1 million now, where I live, so Auckland Grammar will be easily $2 million. That's a rough academic system saying that you're not great academically, you're in Class D. Yeah, pretty much that's it. That's it. They literally give you a letter. You're in class this, which means you are this. Very direct. How much time is left in the Hawks? We're at 55:15 on the game clock. So the All Blacks are still only a few minutes into their yellow card. I can feel my tongue getting heavier as I drink more of this 7.5% bloody Scottish Charger stuff. My tongue wants to start slurring. I'm having to concentrate more to not let my tongue slur. Only Hunga $1 million. Bro, Big Will, Mangare's $1 million. Mangare Bridge, $1 million. Easy. Easy. 3-bedroom place in Mangare Bridge, $1 million. Call me when Whitelock trips Drew Mitchell up in the 78th minute, leading to the All Blacks' final try. Elbow cough. They did the same with Mandarin classes here. I knew I was in the D class because most of my classmates were other non-East Asian foreigners. Marius, you should definitely go and get a beer. Even the area we live in, which is entry level, you have to be pressed to get something under 450k. Nov, my man, the missus are looking out in West Auckland, and even there's like 700-800k. If we ended up getting a place there, we're going to be mortgaged up to our eyeballs. Then I'll need a bloody job, won't I? Pretty good game, to be honest. Wallabies kind of pulled it back. Yeah. They get 2 tries during this yellow card period, which actually puts them back within a chance. I love it that Nigel Owens just told Daniel Carter, don't swear, you're on the telly, man. You notice back in these days, the All Blacks all wear black boots. Like, that's one of Richie McCaw's things as captain. You wear black boots. Oh, Carter's mistouch. Mangere Bridge, that's the Esplanade though. Yeah, basically all the Mangere Bridge houses, that suburb, not just the Esplanade, the suburb is $1 million. Yeah, it's $1 million for like a 3-bedroom house. If you want to get cheaper, you need to go to Mangere East. Kind of just got away with a pretty harsh shot on David Percock, actually. Can't afford to the inner suburbs just move further out. Yeah, Auckland is definitely expanding. Like, if you guys have been away from New Zealand for a while and you know anything about Auckland's geography, there's big housing developments at Hobsonville, which when I was a kid, that was like farms on the way to an Air Force base. Now there's houses like all the way out there. That used to be out very far. Pocono, which is like south on the way to Hamilton, so Auckland Blues, Waikato Chiefs. Like, as you go down, you're kind of technically leaving Auckland. They're building a big housing development there, which is technically in the Waikato, so a Chiefs country, but most people would still drive into Auckland to work. Big houses, because it's cheaper land. And even they're going further north as well, but yeah. Who is buying houses in New Zealand now? I see the tiny house market is huge there. Now, April Tui, from what I've heard anecdotally, a lot of the people with COVID being rampant around the world are coming back to New Zealand having sold up in like the UK or US or whatever, and they're just buying houses because they've got cash in hand. Like, I've been to a few open homes here recently, and they all want like unconditional offers. So not like, oh, I need to sell my house so I can buy this house. They want like the money now, which is what a lot of those people coming back would have. No, a cheap house in Auckland would be sub 7K. If you can get it for under 700,000, I would consider that very affordable. You can get a mansion in the best neighborhood in a gated community and a double story for 3 million rand. That's about 300,000 New Zealand dollars. Bro, for 300,000 New Zealand dollars in Auckland, I don't think you'd be able to get much. Maybe a studio apartment, but it'd have to be in a pretty bad location if there is such a thing. Mind blowing about Mangere Bridge. Haven't been there for 15 years, bro. The price of the houses here are just mad. Just mad. You should see if you can move to the Waikato down one, but then I'd have to bloody support the Chiefs, wouldn't I? We could not get what we can get here in New Zealand. Too expensive. We couldn't afford to move ourselves. Yeah, I don't know how much of it's actually true and how much of it's just scaremongering against all these people coming back from overseas. April too. And the interest rates here at Darumundi, Big VH are very low. Like 2 point something % right now. I know this is a rugby channel and we're talking about the housing market, but yeah. Interest rates here are very low. About as low as Australia's chance of winning this game. We do have one house, which is a new build on our street, which is a subdivided section for 699, which is crazy, as most houses in this area are around 500k. Man, 500k is like a pipe dream where I've been looking. Ben Smith's got 38 seconds left in the sin bin. Oh, Otto, man, we are watching the 2015 final. I'm an hour and 35 minutes into the YouTube clip. Game clock is at 61:22. And I'm drinking this bloody Scottish beer, which is strong. Like, we get a few acres plus our house built on a little eco holiday let for around £125,000. And that's building a lot ourselves. The house we rent is gorgeous and less than £250,000. I guess, April, it depends where you go. Like, areas out of Auckland are a lot cheaper. Auckland is just mad. lot of people, you don't have to support the Chiefs. You know, a lot of people don't support the Lions living in Joburg. I suppose that's true. But there's so many non-Aucklanders who live in Auckland, and I always hate them for not even giving the Blues like as their second team. I feel like I would have to do that. Had to do the Wallabies like that. Sorry, man. I had to do that. Michael needs to pick up a pee habit to fit in with the inhabitants of the Waikato. I'm not sure it's that bad, although I know sexually transmitted infections used to be in Hamilton. That used to be a thing, but I think it's now... Was it Tauranga? Yeah. Like every year they announce which place in New Zealand is like the highest ratio of sexually transmitted infections. It's no longer Hamilton, so... Here goes Kurandrani, bro, what a try, game on. People love giving Hamilton stick, but I actually really like Hamilton. My missus and I looked in Hamilton like 4 years ago. We were house shopping there, we never ended up buying. We live in a decent neighborhood, probably the second best in the region, 4-bed and pool. Paid 1.5 million rand, so about 150k. And you've got a pool? For 150k? Bloody hell, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Anyway. Wellington is mad too. Yeah, Wellington's also, I think, one of the second highest in terms of the current rate of increase. House prices in Oxford are out the roof. I love the channel. This channel, there's a rugby live stream. We're talking about the house prices. How about the house prices in your neck of the woods, Big Will? Maybe I should send you some pictures of some properties. You're a trader. You'll be able to tell me if there's any issues, eh? Fantastic time to support the Chiefs as it can't get any worse for them. Bro, just as the Blues are getting good, you can't ask me to go support the Chiefs. I know a guy came from Tokoroa and he says there's nothing other than crime and meth. Tokoroa, though, is a bit of a smaller town. This is where I started to panic, says Big Will. Yeah, me as well. This is where my Aussie mate is sending me messages furiously. London is mental. Yeah, I think London is just the same as Auckland in terms of that's where the highest prices are. I have been somewhat looking for a new house, but there's nothing out there in price range and being more picky the second time around. Yeah, fair enough, Nov Mum. You got to get something you want. My mate's auntie lived in Hamilton, was shocked when he found out about the STDs there. Depends on the area. Saw was a fairly half-completed house going for a couple million rand. Goodness me. Whenever the house prices in Sydney and Melbourne cool, prices in Brisbane and Canberra increase. Well, they reckon the bottom has got to fall out of the housing market here at some point because people are just being priced out, man. I bought my place for 700k 5 years ago, and I've got 3-bedroom pool and a big backyard. You got to watch out for snakes, but you get used to it. Guy, you got a pool? Nice. Nice. Steve Hansen owned a lot of homes. He just sold 3 of them? Bro, he needs to sell me one. Unbelievable how you guys pay a full pension for a property. Yeah, man. The amount you'd be looking for at a mortgage is pretty unbelievable. Not dealing with snakes, yeah. That's one thing I can enjoy about New Zealand is we don't have to worry about snakes. Not willing to the only thing I'm willing to compromise is the section size. I guess Falau's been pretty quiet in this game, hasn't he? It's the magpies and bush turkeys that are bloody annoying. I'll take a snake any day of the week. I bloody hate magpies, man. They drive me up the wall. They are very aggressive birds that need to just bloody mind their business. Just wondering if this is the game where Australia went properly bad. They lost their next 5 games after this. That might be right. Didn't they have an England tour them not long after? Cheika got figured out and the game moved on. I think that's true, Big V8 Show, man. Cheika was pretty reluctant to adapt his tactics. And Novmum can feel the drop kick coming on. Apparently Mark wants a pull. Mark would love a pull. I would love a pull. I don't know what kind of maintenance is associated with a pull, but I would love a pull. But Mark cannot afford a pull. Not unless Mark, for some reason I'm speaking to myself in third person with this beer. Unless I want to move very far from where I currently live, I cannot afford a pull at all. Magpies are introduced over here. They are introduced and they are proper bastards. Lots of maintenance. Maybe I don't need a pull. I'm not into the maintenance. Sounds like April's had a pull before. Like a pull is like a sign that like you've done well in life, right? Like you've got a pull. You know what I mean? I'm a builder, so was a fixer-upper, and it was a rental until COVID-19 hit. Then I had to move back into it. I don't want to pull unless it's at least 30 meters so I can swim properly. So that's my laps. Had a pull as I was a swimmer, bloody nuisance. Any bets on the next score being a drop goal? I'm not going to bet against that. They're looking for Australia now to be ill-disciplined. You know, the pressure, do something silly. 69 minutes, man. It's within 4 points. That's why this is a cracking final. This game was dead and buried at half-time. We've got lots of frogs in our pool. Goodness me. How do you stop frogs getting in the pool? You have to cover it. What a droppy that is. That came out of nowhere, that one. My plan is to sell up when the wife finally stops teaching and go off to Spain for a house with a pool. Flexion also feels the pool desire. How's your Spanish, Flexion? I'm being generous by calling it a pool. You can do 3 strokes and you're at the other end of the bathtub. I mean pool. Yeah, fair enough. If they let you in there. Mum and Dad catch them because they didn't get a proper cover. So gross with this jar of frogs. Yeah, yuck. Yeah, no thanks. Australia been there before in World Cup Finals. Been on the end of drop goals before in World Cup Finals. There's New Zealand's Carter. Oof. Curtly Beale. New Zealand have just grabbed the match back a bit now. You can see the halfbacks for New Zealand. Every little win now. They realise the pressure's on. Smith clapping away there. Carter's chip. Australia really need to score. Spanglish, we get by. Had to learn French at school. Carter was sublime in this game. You felt like he wanted to make this game his game, April Tui. Got one of those shell play pits that are good for kids to play in. For my dogs can later on the summer. I literally have one of those shell. It looks like a shell, like a scallop shell, right? And you fill it with sand, and then you put another one on top. So then, like when the kids want to play in the sand pit, you just open it up. They play in the sand. I literally have a blue one in the front yard right now. Best of his life. Talking about Dan Carter. Love him, says April Tui. Yep. Man, I forgot Taweda Kubawa was the backup halfback for this game. For serious, he was ahead of Perenara? Was Perenara not available? Or was he just behind Taweda Kubawa? Wife speaks German. That actually comes in handy in Spain. For real. Aren't they a different language family? If you could be any rugby player, who would you be? Goodness me. That's a hell of a question. Which one of them is rich and retired? Whichever one that is. Yeah, one of those things, but filled with water. Oh, okay, yeah, we filled ours with sand to make a sand pit, so... But the kids like to fill it with water. Scrums are gone a bit messy. My mate was outside smoking cigarettes by the ton at this time. I can understand that feeling. I know Sonny Bill gave his medal away after the game to a kid at the stadium. Did he get another one? He did get another one, Otto. Yeah, they gave him a replacement one. You know you're overpowered when Bowden Barrett is your third choice fly half. Goodness me, Mr. 8-Ball. Yeah, it's probably true. This was nowhere near as nerve-wracking as 2011. It did kind of get a little bit, and then it got away from it, eh? Maliki, hope all is well. Great news about New Zealand being COVID-free again. How can I move to New Zealand? Well, bad news is that the last time we had a full lockdown for the nation, I was on holiday in the South Island. And I'm planning to do that next week. My company is forcing me to take... Well, not forcing me. They've strongly encouraged me to take some annual leave. So I'm taking annual leave next week. And all I know is the last time I was on annual leave in the South Island, there was a lockdown. So I am slightly nervous about that happening again. Lightning striking twice. April Tui says, always knew this team had it. Even the semi with the box didn't make me nervous. Really? Man, I was nervous. You're more confident than me. The live stream from the South Island it is. I hadn't planned on taking my my kit with me. What a penalty. Dan the man. I think so. The weather as well looks terrible next week as well. So, yeah. It's great timing. But I can't complain, man. The world's in a pretty bad place and I'm off on holiday. I can't complain even if it's going to piss down. Anyone think this was one of the strongest, if not the strongest in AB's history? Is Tomo? Pretty much, man. It doesn't get much better than this squad was. Yeah, it was a pretty good All Black squad. Ooh, I feel Bodie. I can feel it. We're at 75 minutes. Bodie can't be too far away. 2015 Bok team was actually like the 2020 AB team. Inconsistent, but still good. Man, they pushed this All Black team right to the brink. I remember that much. We had a bunch of Kiwi treats washed in London. They're so nervous. You couldn't eat anything, so your daughter pinched it all. Nice. She had a good one then. Can hear the fans shouting, All Blacks, All Blacks. Yeah, which is pretty rare for New Zealand fans to make themselves as heard as some other countries' fans. But yeah, you can really hear them in this game. And as Big Will says, yeah, the 2015 All Blacks was just proper legit. Wallabies are 12 phases, 13 into the All Blacks 22. They go blindside. Folau gets hammered. Won't get this again. Too many going overseas. Misses with the plans. It's a one-off team. Yeah, that might be right. Drew Mitchell. Oh, the ball's been dropped. It's a knock on. If you had to support a team besides the All Blacks, who would you back? I have a Welsh surname, so I might end up going with Wales. Because they've never won a World Cup. It'd be nice to see them win one as well. And yeah, man, Folau has been quiet, bro. Absolutely big Will. Savia 2015 was too good. How do I think he will go this season, Maliki? I think they have to move him to the midfield, because I don't think he's quite got it as a winger anymore. But he's, from what little Mitre 10 Cup I saw, he showed some good moments. So I hope for him, because obviously he's a legend over here, but he probably is a bit past it. Darren Mundy would like to see France or Wales win a World Cup. Oh, here's trouble. Ben Smith. Here goes Bender. Ben from accounts kicks it through. Here goes Bodie. He's faster than David Pocock. Go Bodie. Go Bodie. What a try. Yeah, that was it. That's the moment. Game is over. I feel like in a parallel universe, Wales won the World Cup just by the skin of their teeth. Oh, yeah, that was maybe a chance to get it done. That game against the Springboks was so close. It could have gone either way. Yeah, Pocock can't do anything about Beauden Barrett, man. You can see Pocock's still giving it his all, but nah. That's the way to go. Always close, but never quite there. Yep, that's Wales, Actually, back to Wallabies if I'm not watching the ABs. Yeah, I'm kind of like that as well, actually. Like the All Blacks, the Springboks, and the Wallabies. Like, I've usually backed them as well. Because they're like our brothers from across the Tasman, so yeah. Oh, cheers for the super sticker, man. kindly, bro. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well over in the UK. That's it. That's it. That's when they won the World Cup. Bloody hell. I love it how they're saying like greatest ever era. It's changed a lot since then, eh? 2015 feels like a long time ago now, man. Long time ago. Only Bowden Barrett could have caught Bowden Barrett at this point of the game. Yeah. They're young guys who will be watching out for this season, making a breakthrough in Super Rugby. I didn't watch enough Mitre 10 Cup to get a good feeling for that, but it will be interesting because there will certainly be some guys come through. 6 years ago, bro. That makes me feel old. The fact that this is 6 years ago. Look at Richie. Richie had a legit smile on his face there for a moment. A brief moment. Richie's not one given to showing a lot of emotion, but he did just then. This is where I started calculating my beer winnings and bets. 3 slabs is not bad, man. Every team that AB's team lost, they seem to win a World Cup. 3 losses, 2 World Cups. At this stage, Australia and New Zealand met in 3 Rugby World Cup finals in a row. 2 league and 1 union. Yeah, that's true. Ned Hannigan, World Player of the Year 2021 from his club in Japan. New Zealand always have a handful of young guys that break through every year. It does seem to be a thing. And yeah, the Mitre 10 Cup, from what I saw of it in 2020, was pretty enjoyable as well. Is this the greatest era ever, even for New Zealand? The 2017 AB squad might question that. Did I just see Richie smile? Exactly, April 2. I felt strange as well to see him with like a full smile on his face. A bit unusual. Still 5 years. After October it'll be 6 years. Right. Still feels like a long time ago, but not that long ago at the same time. Bit of an oxymoron. Wasn't a great Wallabies team. They were lucky to beat it after getting out of jail versus Scotland. Vic, that's probably true. They did pretty well to get back within touching distance because honestly, half-time they were dead and buried. Yeah, April. No, it's been good. It's been good to do a live stream. I haven't done one for a while. Should probably do another one at some point as well. Doesn't have to be an old game. It can be some game from Europe or something. But yeah, I do enjoy the live streams. What can I say? I think they started asking, at least the New Zealand commentator started asking if Richie was going to retire after this, but he kind of gave a bit of a political answer, but he didn't want to make it about himself, I think was the deal. Alright folks, I'm going to finish this beer and I'm going to go to bed. So yeah, you guys all take care of yourselves. I'm going to be on holiday next week, but I'm planning a few videos that I will like pre-record and just release throughout the week. So yeah, there'll still be some stuff on. But yeah, for you guys in the UK, like Maliki and April Tui and Fleshin and whatnot, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay sane during the lockdown. And yeah, I'll see you guys again for another one at some point. Not next week, because as I said, I'm on holiday. If the bloody New Zealand lockdown happens, if there's some case, then do keep me in mind as I scramble to get another flight out of the South Island. But anyway, fingers crossed, it should be all good. Anyway, you guys take care. I'll see you later.